Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. For the final book review that we are doing this week, we are reviewing the fourth book in the Chestnut Springs series, which is Reckless by Elsie Silver. Now, I enjoy this book, even though at some points I did say WTF, WTF, but then it all gets cleared up. And I'm like, wait a second. Okay, so I follow somebody on TikTok. I don't remember her username, but I know her nickname on TikTok is like Bean. She is a book talk creator, and I just saw a video of her recently ranking like her favorite Elsie Silver book boyfriends, and she rated it and she put Theo Silva on there, and I was like, okay, so he's got to be pretty good. So then I started reading Reckless, and it was like Theo Silva's story. So at first I'm like enjoying it, and then we get to, because he has a one night stand with I just read it with Winter Hamilton, who is the sister of Summer Hamilton, who is the FMC from the first book in the series. And by the way, Theo Silva is the protege of Rhett Eaton, who again is the MMC from book one in the series. So like this book follows Theo Silva and Winter Hamilton. So basically, Winter Hamilton, her story, which we kind of learn a bit of it in the first book in the series, Flawless, because obviously she is Summer's sister. So we learn that she's actually kind of estranged from Summer, but it's mainly due to her mother because their father, who is a sports agent, who is both the agent for Rhett Eaton and Theo Silva, cheated on their mother and had an affair with the nanny, and the nanny got pregnant, and that's how Summer exists. So it's not Summer's fault that her father cheated, but yet he stayed married to his wife, and his wife was kind of cold to Summer and just didn't sort of view her as her own daughter, which like okay, fine, but it's not Summer's fault that her father cheated on you, and that's how she came to be. Like you shouldn't treat her differently because of that, like especially if she's going to be living with you full time. And so basically because of that, there were kind of like the family sort of like split, and there were sort of like two sides. So she sort of Winter ended up like siding with her mother, and then Summer not so much siding, but is more like her father really doted on Summer a lot and a little less on Winter. I think just because of the way Winter's mother was treating Summer, maybe. And then I think Winter did try to truly have a relationship with her sister, and we actually learned in this book that she did care for her sister. And there was a moment where her sister was crying, and her mother was like, "Oh, just leave her; she'll stop." And she actually went in the crib and fell asleep with her sister. And then her mother like punished her and took away her dollhouse, and she never got it back. And so she sort of learned that it might be easier for her sister and better, and her mother would like be maybe less mean and less rude to her sister if she just sided with her mother. And so that's how she sort of got estranged from Summer. But towards the beginning of this book, she is now in Chestnut Springs. She is getting divorced from her husband, who she learned actually cheated on her when they were dating, and had a thing with her sister, who was much younger, by the way. And he actually cared for her sister when she was a minor and had some heart problems. He, I think, was a heart surgeon and had performed surgeries on her sister's heart, and then started a relationship with her sister while dating her. And then like her sister kind of being estranged from her, didn't know that he was dating her, and then it all like just kind of like blows up. And so she decides that her life is blown up. She wants to reconnect with her sister, so she decides to move to Chestnut Springs and continue her residency at the Chestnut Springs hospital. And this is where she meets Theo Silva. She actually meets him at a gas station when she's pumping her gas, and she sees him, and she's like, wow, he's kind of hot. And then she thinks that he is following her as she's going to the Wishing Well Ranch to family dinner, because she got invited by her sister to family dinner. Actually, I think it was Christmas family dinner. And she's like, why is he following me? He's like kind of like an asshole behind me, flashing his lights and stuff. And then they have a fight they have like an argument when they arrive, and she's like, you followed me, and he's like, oh, I'm coming to the same spot, and blah blah blah. And then she decides that she wants to have fun and let loose. So she said she wants to have a one night stand, and she wants to have it with him. So she writes a contract, and it's one night only. And then they don't like talk together or anything again. So that happens, and then she slowly realizes at some point, she's like, hey, she's doing some math because she's a doctor and she's doing math. She's like, my cycle. She's like, oh crap. She's like, I think I'm pregnant. Then she takes a pregnancy test and realizes she is pregnant. She knows it's his. So she tries to call him. She calls him she leaves 3 different voicemails. He never responds. But then she sends him a text. She's like, hey, did you get any of my voicemails? He's like, yeah, I listened to them. Like, I don't want to talk. So she's like, well, okay. So she's like, but I have something important to tell you. So he's like, okay, just text me. So then she's like, oh, I'm pregnant, by the way, and like the baby's yours. And his response by text is, thanks for letting me know. And so when I had seen that somebody on TikTok had put Theo Silva as one of like their favorite Elsie Silver book boyfriends, I was like, and then I read this, I was like, how are we going to recover from this? But we do recover, and Theo Silver ends up being a fantastic book boyfriend. So how we recover from this is basically he had decided to focus really on changing like who he was a bit, focusing on his bull riding, and he decided he did not want to be a playboy anymore, and chasing buckle bunnies or bunnies chasing him, because buckle bunnies is similar to like puck bunnies, or like they chase a buckle. It's a whole thing. Yeah. And so he decides that he wants to get a new number. So he ends up having somebody who works at his agent's agency to manage his phone. He's like, hey, if there's anything important, tell him. Like, if you get any important messages on here or anything important comes through this phone, you're supposed to let me know. So it turns out that the person running his phone didn't think it was important to let him know that somebody texted him saying, hey, I'm pregnant and the child is yours. So the way that he learns that, hey, he has a kid is when we learn that he has kind of like, ever since that one night stand, he has had a thing for her. And when he learns that she is like has a baby, he's like, okay, well, she moved on then. And then people tell him like, oh, the baby's 9 months old. He's like, wait, 9 months? And then he's like, 9 months, and you're like pregnant for 9 months. He's like, okay, wait. He does the calculation. He looks at the calendar. He's like, well, then the kid must be mine. So then he goes and knocks on her door. He's like, the baby. He's like, is that mine? And she's like, yeah. And she's kind of confused why he's asking that. She's like, because I let you know, and you were like, thanks for letting me know. And he's like, what? Like, and then he realizes what goes down, and he becomes a dedicated, doting father, and he just keeps trying to prove to her why they should be together and how he can help her and ease her burden, and how she doesn't have to be a single mother anymore, that he is going to step up now that he knows that the baby is his, and now that he and then he goes off, fires his agent, and then fires the guy who works at his agent's agency who did this. And then his agent fires that guy, and he's like, I would have loved to have fired him twice. And then his agent fires that guy, so he's like, oh, he did get fired twice. Love that. So again, I ate this book up so much. So far, the last few books that I've read in this series have been so fantastic. I have enjoyed them so much. So if you like the accidental pregnancy trope with sort of a unique twist, where he doesn't know for about like 18 months that she was pregnant and then had the baby, then I think you'll enjoy this book so much. But I know Elsie Silver is popular, so I feel like me saying you'll enjoy it is not really necessary because a ton of people enjoy Elsie Silver. So yeah, that is all for this video. It is making me so excited to read the 5th and final book in the series, which is also going to have a 13-year age gap. So I'm going to eat up the age gap trope. So yeah, that is all for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss another brand new video from me. You can also follow me at RomanceBLVD on Instagram and Threads, and also at Romance Boulevard also on TikTok. Until the next one, bye!